drag him from the dark while still so tender in his new-made skin. They toss him into the raw air amongst the hard human race, whose follies and hatreds he is expected at the very first moment to accept without understanding them, and, not understanding, to atone for them. Pierre had been called to military service along with those of his own class, boys of 16 to 18. Within 6 months his country would be needing his flesh. The war claimed him. 6 months of respite. 6 months. Oh, if one could only stop thinking at all from this time to that. Just to stay in this underground tunnel. Never see cruel daylight any more. He plunged deeper into his gloom along with the flying train and closed his eyes. When he opened them again, a few steps away, but separated by the bodies of two strangers, stood a young girl who had just entered. At first, all he saw of her was a delicate profile under the shadow of her hat, one blonde curl on a somewhat thin cheek, a highlight perched upon the smooth cheekbone, the fine line of nose and lifted upper lip, and her mouth, slightly parted, still quivering a little from her sudden rush into the car. Through the portals of his eyes into his heart she entered all complete, and the door closed. Noises from without fell to nothing. Silence. Peace. She was there. She did not look at him. In fact, she did not even know as yet of his existence. And yet she was there inside him. He held her image there, speechless, crushed in his arms, and he dared not breathe for fear that his breath might ruffle her. A jostling at the next station. Noisily talking, the crowd threw themselves into the already packed carriage. Pierre found himself shoved and carried along by the human wave. Above the tunnel vault, in the city up there, certain dull reports. The train started up again. At that moment, a man quite out of his senses, who covered up his face with his hands, came running down the stairway of the station and rolled down on the floor at the bottom. There was just enough time to catch sight of the blood that trickled through his fingers. Then the tunnel and darkness again. In the car, frightened outcries, "The Gothas are at it again!" During the general excitement which fused these closely packed bodies into one, his hand had seized the hand that touched him. And when he raised his eyes, he saw it was she. She did not pull her hand away. At the pressure of his fingers, hers replied in a sympathy of emotion, drawing together a bit, and then letting themselves go, soft and burning, without budging. Thus the two remained in the protective darkness, their hands like two birds hid in the same nest, and the blood from their hearts ran in a single flood through the warmth of their palms. They said no word to one another. His mouth almost touched the curl on her cheek and the tip of her ear. They did not make a gesture. She did not look at him. 2 stations beyond, she loosed her hand from his, which did not keep her, slipped between the bodies, and left without having looked at him. When she had vanished, it occurred to him to follow. Too late. The train was in motion. At the next stop, he ran up to the surface. There he found the nocturnal cold, the unseen touches of some flakes of snow, and the city, frightened and amused at its fright. Above it, very high in the air, circled the warlike birds. But he saw only her, the one who was within him, and he reached home holding the hand of the unknown girl. Pierre Aubier lived with his parents near Cluny Square. His father was a municipal judge. His brother, older than he by 6 years,